Picking an agent in Valorant can be overwhelming, especially if you're new or just a casual player. So today, I'm ranking every agent from S to F tier based on how easy they are to play and how useful they are on every map. Let's get into it. Starting off in the F tier, we've got Astra. Look, Astra mains, I respect you, but for the average player, this is a nightmare to learn. Next, we've got Yoru and Killjoy. Yoru is tricky because his entire kit relies on deception and perfect timing, which casual players struggle with. And Killjoy, if you don't know setups, you're basically playing a nerfed Cypher. All three of these agents can be great, but for a new or casual player, they're bottom tier picks. Starting off D tier strong, we've got Cypher. Cypher is super useful, but if you haven't put in the time to learn his setups, you're just another guy with a hat. Next up, Omen. His smokes and teleports make him a tricky controller for beginners, and blinding your teammates with his paranoia is way too easy. His ultimate is useful, but not exactly beginner friendly. Harbor and Viper land here too. After the nerfs, their smokes don't last as long, and for new players, misplacing a smoke can hurt your team more than it helps. Finally, Breach and Neon. Breach's stuns and flashes are amazing, if you don't blind your entire team instead. And Neon, super fun, but hard to control if you're not experienced. C tier. Decent, but harder to master. Now on to C tier, where things get spicy. Starting off controversial, we've got Jett and Raze. If you're not top fragging, they're just harder duelists to make an impact with. Skye makes C tier too, because her flashes can blind teammates and her heal requires positioning and patience. Fade and Chamber both have solid utility, but only if you know how to use it right. And joining them in C tier is Gecko. His kit is super helpful, but for new players, he's trickier than he looks. The biggest issue? Dying while trying to pick up his utility. If you don't time it right, you're an easy target. Kicking off B tier with Clove. Super fun, but smoke placement matters, and new players often mess that up. Speaking of smokes, Brimstone joins B tier for the same reason. Super valuable, but you gotta know where to drop those smokes. ISO and Phoenix are here too. Both solid duelists, but Phoenix has the flash his own team problem, and ISO can get overconfident with his shield and ult. And finally, Sova. His darts are insanely useful, but without lineups or really good aim, they're often wasted. Starting A tier with a fan favorite, Reyna. Now, Reyna is usually an S tier carry, but her utility only works after getting kills, which not everyone can do consistently. Next up, Taeho. He's new, but his kit is super easy to understand, making him a solid pick for new players. And last, in A tier, we've got Deadlock. Her utility is simple, her wall is great. Her only downside is her ult, which isn't always easy to use effectively. And finally, the GOATs of casual play. First up, KO. His knife is super easy to use, he's got a molly, a flash, and an ult that helps the whole team. If you're new to initiators, he's the one to learn. And the best casual friendly agent in Valorant, Sage. Whether you want to frag out or just play support, she's a one-stop shop for team utility, a life-saving ultimate, and an easy-to-use kit. So there's the list. Do you agree, or did I completely butcher your mains ranking? And if you're new, drop a sub for more Valorant guides and content. This is Fizz. GG and good luck out there.